Let's jump right into it. Listen, happy Monday to everybody. Happy Monday. Here's why I'm saying this so many times. Think about what Monday does for people, right? For some people view Monday and they say, it's Monday, right? They hate Mondays. So the label they have when it comes to Mondays is the fact that I have to wake up and do something that I don't want to do, like work a job or work somewhere for 9 to 10 hours a day or 8 to 9 hours a day. And it's the start of a new week, right? The start of a new week. And I view this day as I hate it because I have to work this job, right? It's not that I hate the day, it's the fact that I hate what I do on this day. It's a long ass week, right? And then there's others that look at Monday and say, wow, it's the start of the week. Something new, something different. I get to start fresh. I get to do something new, right? So it's interesting. It's not about Mondays or perception of what Monday is. Let's look at the New Year's, right? People look at 2022. They look at the new year. They say, wow, this is the new year, 2022. This is my year, new me, right? People look at it and say, man, 2021 was a tough year or whatever they say the year was, right? But in their mind, they look at it and say, wow, 2022 is going to be my year, or they view the year as it's new, right? There's a sense of renewal. It's like, okay, this is the beginning of something. I can do something different, right? I can take more risk. I can bet on myself a little bit more, right? There's something about this idea of this sense of renewal. Let's look at our birthdays. Oh, I'm getting older, right? This is a new chapter in my life, right? I'm being 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, 25 years old, whatever age. I'm turning this age. It's a new chapter, I'm in a new place in my life, right? So this is what's interesting, the sense of renewal. And I wrote more things down too, because I was taking notes on this before the live. I was thinking, wow, the fact that our minds look at Mondays from a certain perspective, New Year's from a certain perspective, the birthdays from a certain perspective, how the idea of tomorrow is interesting to people. Hey, I'll start tomorrow. And they wake up in the morning and say, today is a brand new day. Today is new. But what's really going on here? Right? What is my point? What's really going on here? Our minds have created this idea, this sense of renewal, right? When we wake up in the mornings, we see the sun, we're like, it's a new day. We start off Mondays, we say, it's Monday, the start of a new week. Right? This time, the structure we created, New Year's, new me, my birthday, newness, right? But in actuality, human beings have created all of this stuff, right? And if we can understand that, this is powerful. Again, when I talk about this, when I say all of this stuff is an illusion, Monday is an illusion. 2022 is an illusion, right? Time, the man-made time is an illusion. However, we use it for structure. We use it to create order. We use it to, obviously, I say, hey, jump on this live at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We all can connect. We all understand what's going on. But if we can understand that this is an illusion, this doesn't mean don't live by it, because people get it twisted, right? If I say it's an illusion, they're like, oh, so what am I going to do? Be in the mountains and not tell the time? What we're saying is, if this is an illusion, that means my mind is capable of creating that sense of renewal at any moment of its life. I can end a live with that sentence alone. I can literally just end a live right now. If the man-made time is an illusion, and I feel this sense of renewal, when it's my birthday, when it's New Year's, when it's the new day, when it's Monday, when it's a new week and a new month, February 1st, right? Then my mind, I can create this sense of renewal at any moment, right? I can create that every single moment of my life is a brand new opportunity, and I can create that sense of renewal at any second I want to. So I don't have to wait for the new year. I don't have to wait for the new week. I don't have to wait for the new month. I don't have to wait for these things, because these things don't actually exist. Think about it. It does not actually exist and only exists in our mind. And because you and I agree on it, right? It exists in this reality world that it exists, right? Let's not think that it's, okay, this is not no mythical, delusional thing we're talking about here. Let's think about it, right? We wake up, we're like, okay, let's create structure. We need structure so we can tell the time. We can have order within the human beings and the human structure, right? It's Monday. Hey, meet me at this time at 10:30 on Instagram Live. It's the new year, 2022, and we base it off the sun and the moon and the this and the that, whatever it is, right? How many times the earth turns around, whatever reason why. The man-made time is an illusion, right? But the importance of it is not to be in the fucking mountains and stay inside the cave and say, man, I'm not going to live within this illusion. No. If we can understand that, then every moment of my life, I can create that sense of renewal. Like I can look at any second and say, man, at this second is a new year. At this second is a different moment. At this second, I don't have to start next week. I don't have to start tomorrow. I don't have to start next year. I can start now. The next moment can be that for me. Because we do it anyway. Do we see this? We do it anyway. We do it anyway. We do it with our minds anyway. Our perception of what Monday is. We either start the new week, oh, it's time to get focused, start the new week, ready to go. The mind is creating this itself. Oh, new year, new me. Where do you think that comes from? What changed? New year, new me. It's just one perception on the situation. New year, new me. So then you have people making moves that they won't normally make, which then that's why it dies off, right? Because that sense of renewal ends. The sense of renewal, it was like, wait, it was an illusion the whole time. Nothing's new. Nothing's changed. There's no new me, no new you, unless you make a decision, right? Not just because it's a new year. So this is why February 1st is coming up. And how many people have not done what they say they were going to do in January 1st, right? So they say, oh, new year, new me. But then that momentum dies because the sense of renewal dies. It was an illusion the entire time. Oh, I really never wanted to do this. Oh, I never really wanted to address these problems. I just thought new year, new me. And automatically I'm assuming that I'm different. But in actuality, it's not true, right? My point is, at any moment of our life, thank you for the badges, by the way. I don't know who left. Let me see. Let me scroll up real quick. Life is Everywhere podcast. Listen, shout out to you. Almost every live you show me love. I appreciate you. I love you for it. Leaving me the badges. You know, I just truly appreciate it. I have to stop everything, give you a shout out. You're always on here showing me love. And I truly, truly, truly appreciate that. And everybody else on here too shows me love as well. Just by being on here alone. But the fact is that our minds, when it comes to, and I was doing this, I was like, okay, oh, Monday, cool. But why is the brand Monday? Either I like it or I don't. And depending on how I feel and what I do on this day. Depending on what I do on this day. It's like it will determine how I feel about it and will determine how the week will be. But all of this is in my mind. I've accepted all of this in my life. Either I start Monday with this sense of renewal, new week, new me, this idea. Or I view Monday, say, I can't wait for Friday. But what is Friday, right? Friday, this idea that I get to escape. Friday is for some people is a sense of renewal because they say, okay, I'm done doing what I don't want to do, so they say. And then now I get to start a 3-day weekend, 3 days of doing what I want to do. I get to relax. I get to do this. I get to do that. But just think about this. Every day. Every moment of your life can be that you can have that sense of renewal. And if you can understand what the mind is doing, In a real way. This ain't no, man. This is not no, oh, you're talking about illusions and you're talking about mythical things and you're talking about all these extra things. Like, so we don't live by this, Anthony. So you're telling me I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't tell the time because it's an illusion. Or no, we can understand the power of the mind. We can see that we're doing this to ourselves. We can see that we're living by these limitations that we just accepted without question. We can see that we're living this life by these rules and the stories that we told ourselves. Instead of saying, yo, you know what? Any moment's a new moment. I can start right now. I can start tomorrow, right? I don't have to start in April because April doesn't exist. I don't have to start in July because July doesn't exist just yet, right? Literally, I can say, okay, well, how long is it going to take me to do this? How can I create my own time? How can I create my own time? How weird this sounds. And this is the first time I'm saying this. How can you create your own time? Say, you know what? I don't follow this structure, right? I'm going to create my own structure. I won't wait till Monday to start the new week. How about every moment of my life is the start of a new week? Every moment of my life is the New Year's. Every moment is new me, new year, new me. How come it's not new moment, new me? Ooh, I like that. New moment, new me. How come it's not that? Yo, listen, new moment. Who likes that? Give me in the comments below. Give me some fire emojis if you like new moment, new me. How come it's not that? How come it's not that? How come it's not that? How come we gotta wait all this time and say new year, new me, new month? Oh, this is my month to address these goals, right? This is my month to address these. It's like, dude, the month, you could have that at any moment, at any moment. You don't have to wait for that time to do it. This stuff is not complicated. It's only, well, it's a bit complicated if you don't understand, if you don't see it, right? But when I speak about it, it's very simple, right? That our minds, we're doing this to ourselves all the time, right? Like we're doing it to ourselves. We've accepted these things. We wait for the week. We wait for the right moment, the right time, the right this. I got to wait for this. I got to wait for this. Like I got to wait for this moment. Watch, you're going to see, man, the beginning of the year, woo, you're going to see, because last year, it's like, but none of this exists. Like it exists in the world, in this reality world that we've accepted. Yes, it exists. But in actuality, it does not exist. It's all just things that we just accepted, right? It's not the tree. It's not the fucking, it's not real shit. It's all just in our minds. Like the sky doesn't wait. Like the sky doesn't open and say today's Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's not, the clouds are not forming to tell you what time it is in the day. Right? Which means this is all in our minds. It's all man-made. It's in our minds. We put it on paper. Then we have a calendar and we say, okay, we follow this, right? So we can understand that our minds at any moment, we can have a perspective shift because we're doing it anyway. We're doing it anyway. Oh, we see that it's Monday. I feel great. Oh yeah, let's go. And then oh man, today's Wednesday, hump day. Today's hump day. And the middle of the week. And it's you automatically associate that with something it's interesting how we're living in, how each day has its own brand. And depending on the day that we think it is, or we know it is, we say it's Tuesday, it's Monday, it's this. Depending how we feel on that day, our routine on that day will determine how we feel about life and ourselves. How's that? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Depending on how I feel on the brand of the day, and what I normally do on this day will determine how I feel about my life. When all of this is just created by yourself. All this is self-made. All of this is just acceptance. It's just I'm accepting all of these things, right? I choose to make these moves on this day called Monday. Because I make these moves on this day that's called Monday, I don't like waking up in the morning with this sense of renewal, because this renewal reminds me of how I'm not living my life with any meaning at all. I'm waking up, working a job I hate, and I do it to pay bills because I want to do it, and then complain that I have to do it and say that, hey, I don't really want to do this. I hate Monday. Then Tuesday comes around. Okay, just getting the week by. Whatever the brand Tuesday in my mind, whatever that brand is. But all of this is in our minds. How it's literally fragments. Like we're living in fragments. Think about the mind. Think about the mind. How as a whole, we're able to see things as a whole, but we choose to see things in fragments. Not sure if this is making any sense. We choose to see things in fragments, right? We choose to see things in some sort of, okay, on this day it's like this. We see it this way, right? And then we have, depending on the days of the month, the days of the week. Oh, it's the second week. I'm always like this in the second week of a month. I'm always like this in the beginning of the month. I always do this as the ending of the month. How our minds are literally, we're creating this. We're living in these fragments. We're creating this in our minds. It's literally fragments. You guys see this? Like we see this? It's fragments. Now, does this mean ignore it? No. Does this mean do not live in it? No. Does this mean, hey, don't be strategic? No. Don't go to the mountains and stare at the rocks and look at the sky and say, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Listen to me. You view it and say, wow, so all of this is a game. So it's all a game. Let me pull up. Shit, I don't even have it. I was going to pull up my calendar. I have it here. Let me go to like the final month. We go to November, right? November, right? So we're like, oh, okay. So we live through this structure and we look at these things and we're like, okay, today is November. All right, Monday. Oh man, so I got all these things, and we live in these fragments, right? We live in, and the way we feel about the day, the brand, like literally Sunday through Saturday is a brand. It's literally a brand. I don't know if this is making any sense, but if it is, show me some love, fam. Because sometimes I be thinking shit. Sundays is a brand. I created this brand. That I value this brand. This brand, Sunday Fun Day. Sunday, I didn't create the brand. I value this brand, right? The world, the society is Sunday Fun Day. Sunday Rest Day. Sunday this. And because I see it that way, I feel a certain way on this day. Like, do we see that, right? And then Monday comes, and then that brand it's a brand. How I feel about the Monday. And the Monday, my whole life is shaped on how I feel on Monday. And then on Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. So now I'm going to eat tacos today. It's like we live in these fragments. So now, can we see? What's my purpose of saying this? Can we see that the mind has created all of this? Can we see that and say, holy shit, I don't have to view Monday this way. I don't have to wait for Monday to start my thing. I don't have to wait for Fridays to live my life. I don't have to wait for the new year to create a new me. I don't have to create my birthday and say, whoa, 20 years ago, I was born on this day. And it's like, that's interesting, right? Like that's my brand on my birthday. Here's what I do on my birthday, on the day that I was born. and it's we have this sense of like, we create this whole things in our mind that we just accept. Now think about it. Of course, you're born into this world. Right? And you're born into this world, into that system, so you don't understand it. You don't see it. It feels real because it is real. It's your reality, right? This is my reality. But the actuality is different from reality. The reality is all man-made, the structure, the illusions that we created to create meaning in our lives and all the things in it. We have this structure in what we do, right? Because the mind is so powerful. We create things. We have the ability to create all of this stuff, right? Everything you see was created from the mind, right? So now we get confused that all of this is a game, right? We get confused by that. Now, in actuality, it's like, well, if you look at your life, it's like you're already winning, right? Because you're breathing. You're already winning. Like if you look at what's real, like if you look at what's really, really real, right? And if you can separate the two and look at it, fuck, okay, in actuality, right? All of this stuff doesn't have to be this way. It's all a game. I can determine what game I choose to play, how I play it, how I feel. I can determine it because the mind is doing that already. Do we see that? Like, am I wilding? The mind's doing that already. The mind's doing it already, but it's doing it already. What do you want me to do? It's doing it already. I'm just trying to communicate with it. Like, it's doing it already. When you wake up and say, oh, today's a new day, it's like literally your perception on that moment. It's a sense of renewal. Wow, it's a new day. It's new. I can address this. I can make moves. I can live. Wow, today's a new day. And then the day, depending on how it goes, you're like, you know what, man? I'll leave it for tomorrow because tomorrow is a new day. And tomorrow, we're going to go ahead and we're going to crush our goals tomorrow, right? It's like, okay, then I go to sleep and I wake up. Wow, it's a new day, right? Just think about it. And then you're tired at 1 p.m. And because it's 1 p.m., right? Or let's say 3 p.m. and you take an hour nap. You did the same thing you did at night, which was sleep for 6 hours, maybe sleep for 8 hours, and you woke up. It's a new day. Then you take an hour or 2 hours sleep or a little nap right in the middle of the day. You don't wake up with that sense of renewal. You don't wake up, new day, because in our minds, that's not what we do. It's not real. It's like, well, no, you literally did the same thing at night. You went to sleep, woke up, new day. You took a nap and woke up and like, whoa, we're in the same day. Do we not see like how at any moment we can create that sense of renewal because we do it anyway? Like the structure is in place, right? These structures and these rules are in place. They're guidelines, and absolutely they create structure and order. At the same time, you can get lost in it, right? You can get lost in that where you start thinking you have to be a certain way. It's like, man, instead of viewing it for what it actually is, like, holy shit, all of this is actually an illusion, right? All of this is all a game. Yo, let me take control of how I play this game. Let me take control of it. I am seeing things in fragments. I am waiting around, waiting for the new week to start. I am waiting for the new day to start. When in actuality, it could be any moment. Like right now, like tomorrow is today. Think about that. Tomorrow is today. Yesterday we said tomorrow. It's like this whole long ass fucking just movement. It's just movement. It's like movement. This long ass movement. But in our minds, we see things in fragments. We break things up in days. I don't know if this is making sense. Okay. I know it's making sense, but I say that in it's a long ass movement, right? It's long movement, right? It's movement. And what the mind does is like, okay, this is going to be this day. This is going to be that day. This is this time. This is that time. We start living in fragments when in actuality, it's just movement. It's just movement, which means tomorrow doesn't exist. Like tomorrow doesn't exist. It's just movement. Like what's tomorrow? Okay. All right. This is it. So our projection of what tomorrow is, we have our minds where we say, okay, tomorrow is based on this time, based on when the sun goes down and da. So we live in assumptions, right? We live in assumptions. Boom. And then now, so we assume that this based on where our mind's at, right? We assume that tomorrow exists when it doesn't. But we assume that it does. It's going to happen. It's going to come, right? So now, literally, this is where we are. And we say, okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Yep. Oh, yep. This is all just movement. Tomorrow will come. Tomorrow. Boom, we're here. And then we're like, oh, tomorrow's here, right? So now we're thinking, like, think about that. And this is what made me think about the quote that I posted yesterday. I said, the more time you think you have, the less you respect it. And the caption on the squad said, many of you have said tomorrow yesterday. Comfort kills urgency. Think about how many people are not embracing taking action now because they assume that tomorrow exists. They assume that exists. Like, the more time you think you have, the less you respect it in all areas of your life, right? Like, oh, my mom is going to live till 80 or 60. So because of that, I don't have to like, oh, it's cool. I can ignore the calls from my mother, right? Or I don't respect somebody because I feel when I'm embracing it, oh, I'll see you tomorrow. It's all good. You disrespect the time you have with this human being. We're talking about the real time, not the man-made time. Not the man-made time, right? Not the man-made time, which is the Mondays, the Tuesdays, the 4 o'clocks, the man-made time, which is needed for structure. We're talking about actuality time, which is your body clock, right? We're all in the process of dying. We're all in the process of dying. We're all in movement of death. That just sounds crazy. Movement of death. It sounds like dark and like I'm about to slice my wrist. No, we're all in the process of dying. Right? We're all in the process of dying. So the fact that we're all in the process of dying, the more time we think we have, the less we respect it. So those relationships that you're talking with somebody, you don't respect it. I'll see you tomorrow, right? The more money you have, the more you have anything, you don't respect it, right? The more time you think you have, I'm going to live till 50, when 50 doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't exist just yet. But however, in our minds, again, like we talked about, right? We talked about the movement. And then we live in assumptions. We live in projections. We live in these things. Like we create these, what we assume and what we think is going to happen. Do we see that? Right? So, boom. So then I'm thinking 50, like, yo, 50. This was yesterday, so 50 is like, yo, here, right? So I'm all the way here, and I'm thinking, yo, okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right. Like, we look, is this important? Am I saying go to the mountains and climb to the highest mountain and just stay there and don't live in the illusion of time? I'm not saying that, right? I am not saying that. Am I saying, like, am I saying these don't follow it? I'm not saying that. Just understand that the idea of sense of renewal, this idea that it's a Monday and then the brand Monday, the idea that at 50, when I'm 50, I'm going to start. None of this fucking makes sense. It doesn't make sense. Did we see that? It doesn't make sense. The only time that matters is the actual time, which is the process of death, right? Your body clock. So that's why you take care of your body and mind so you can have the energy to continue to exist. And we're talking about exist in movement. Exist in movement, not in fragments. I'm going to only do good on this day, and then the second day I'm going to do this, and then the third day I'm going to do this, and then no. Movement. Every moment is an important moment. Every moment is a sense of renewal. Every moment, it's literally any moment you can make a fucking change. Any decision, anything. Monday doesn't exist, and because of that, we can say Monday's right now. Right? Like now. Like Friday, I don't have to wait for Friday to live my life. Now, I can do it now. Like now. Do we see that? I don't have to wait new year, new me. No. Now. Like now. Like now is new year. I'm new now. Every moment. Now. Tomorrow is today. And if we can see that, tomorrow is in our minds, that tomorrow is today. Think about what I'm saying. If it's all movement, and tomorrow is today, you would manipulate this whole time. You would just do it. Like, do we see this? Like, we would just do it. Like we talked about this, not fragments. Like, okay, I'm here, and then thinking that this exists. Like, oh, okay, this is it. So I'm gonna wait till this to make moves. I'm here and I'm gonna wait till this to make moves. So I'm like, okay, living in fragments. Oh, now I'm doing it. When in actuality, when you wake up in the morning, yes, like think about it. Now, it's like when we say that, yo, tomorrow, it's literally now. It's literally now. And tomorrow will be what it is today because it's all just movement, right? It's all just movement. Tomorrow will be what it is today if there's not total transformation in our minds, in the foundation of how we view the world, in the foundation of our minds. Do we see that? You're breaking this down like advanced Chinese math. I'm gonna turn this into an NFT, fam, and you guys can purchase this with my new NFT. I'm just messing. Listen. Do we see this? Do we see this? Like, fuck, man. Do we see this shit? I feel like It's movement. It's movement, right? So we see the movement of. If we see our movement, if we see all this as the process of death, if we see that we're in the process of dying, and that's the only time that matters, right? If we see that, now we say, wow, we do view the world in fragments. We do procrastinate, and we do save things for later on. We do save these things for another time because in our minds, we think we think that tomorrow actually exists. Now, those of you who are on in the beginning, right? Those of you, this may sound complicated for those of you who just joined in right now, but in the beginning, we broke the entire process down where we see things in fragments, right? And because we assume that tomorrow exists, we don't respect time, right? We don't respect the actual time, right? We don't respect like this, the fact that you're breathing time, right? So because of that, we live in fragments. Oh, I'll save for tomorrow, as if tomorrow is not now, right? As if tomorrow something else is going to change. Nothing will change. Next week, 2 years, 3 years from now, nothing is going to change because 3 years from now is now. 2 years from now is now. Do we see that? Not within the illusion creation world. And then when I say illusion, and we talked about this already, it's not like this. I'm not talking about illusion world, like some weird shit that people think I'm saying. No. Man-made time that we need for structure, right? Meet me on this live at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is time. We need this time. In order for me to give this information, meet me at this time, right? On Monday through Friday, time, right? Monday through Friday, meet me at this. On the weekends, no. Monday through Friday, time. This time, right? So now we have this man-made time. Fine. Let's use this structure. Let's use this thing. So now the fact that we understand that it's an illusion, that we understand that we live in fragments, we can see, holy shit, we're doing it to ourselves. We can see, oh, I'll wait till tomorrow, I'll procrastinate and start tomorrow. It's like no, tomorrow's now. I mean, what are you talking about? Tomorrow is now. Nothing's going to change unless there's a total transformation in the foundation of your mind, that you literally see how you're living your life, diving into that shit, grabbing it and saying, you know what, I'm going to completely create something new. And that can happen instantly. Change happens instantly the moment that you see the reality of your situation, the actuality of your situation, right? That you don't have to wait to, oh, it's morning to start to feel new. That can happen instantly because the mind is doing that anyway. The idea that you think that your perception is that tomorrow exists, that you see it this way, you see it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, instead of like this, you don't see it like this, right? You don't see just straight movement. You see it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to start Friday. You know what? I can't wait till Friday and we see what's up. You see it like that. You don't see it like this. If you saw it like this, you would see that this is all one and you would see that tomorrow is now. Oh, man. Tomorrow is now. So if I can see that, I will literally start saying, I'm going to do shit now. You guys getting this? Give me some fire emojis if you're loving this right now. I know you guys are smart. I know you guys are smart. I'm not assuming that you guys are dumb. I know you're smart. When I say, yo, is this making sense? It's me, what I see is, and what I say, I want it to be like this. You know what I mean? Like when I'm looking up this way at nothing, but I just see it play out, I want to make sure that this is boom. Can you save this live? I always save my live. Check on my YouTube channel. Go on my Instagram, and you guys can see it. Hold on, let me see. How do I turn this around? Okay, look, fam. So my Instagram, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. I always post that up. And also sign up for my daily awareness journal. Trust me, all this stuff I talk about already, some of you are just not in the awareness journal. Let me see, who's loving this right now? Give me some fire emojis if you're loving this. I need to see the beginning of this, please. Yes, I will upload this later today. You have to like tomorrow with today. We need to incorporate breath work. It's intense in a good way. I always do. Breath work is very important. Every morning. That's why you see me taking deep breaths from time to time. Yo, listen. Tomorrow is today. This is how life in actuality is. This is how we see it. And because of this, we live in conflict. This is how we see it. We live in conflict. This is the illusion. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But in actuality, it's just this. A bunch of naps in between. It's one long ass day, a bunch of naps in between. Right? Like it's funny, we take an hour nap and say, oh shit, it's just an hour nap. And then if we take an hour, we sleep at night and we only slept for an hour. We say, oh, I only slept for 1 hour. It's like, okay, one thing is a nap, the other one's an hour. It's a sleep. And you get my point, right? You get my point. I totally get it. And I always tell myself that. And other people, they think that they think, or we think that we're going to be young forever, but we're not. Right? Like all that is look, it's not about being old or young, right? Like that's why it's interesting how you see people, oh, I'm aging. It's like, well, yeah, it's called like I'm getting old. It's like, well, yeah, like what the fuck? Like, yeah, it's, but then when you start breaking your life in fragments, oh, I'm turning 40 years old this year. I am turning 50. I am old. And just like you're seeing it through this. You're not seeing it through this. You're not seeing it through this whole total perspective. You're not seeing life as this just movement. And how every moment is important moment. Every moment is important moment. Every moment. I'm not saying don't live within this. I am saying if you see it like this, you're able to live in this without conflict. You don't confuse the two. You don't confuse, oh, Monday, Tuesday, oh, da, 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 da. And then start wishing, oh, I wish today is a better day. Please, the pens, of all the pens, make it a great Monday. And it's like Monday is not even real. So the pen and doing this, when your whole life is Monday, when your whole life structure is the way it is. I'm being super animated, but listen. It's just like, yo, how can we look at our life and saying we are living in conflict? Because we are living in fragments. How we do anything is how we do everything. It's not broken down in a certain way. Like, let's not think it's not, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. It's not fragmented. We see it from a fragment perspective. But in actuality, if it's like this, then that means how you do anything is how you do everything. This is me. All of this is me. It's just me. Like me. Not, hey, I show up here, but I don't show up here. I do this, but I don't do this. And I do this. And no. It's me that's viewing the world from my perspective, or how I view myself, how I view the world, from this level of perception, right, that I have, right, from how I see it. I'm living in fragments, and because of that, I'm living in conflict. Nothing makes sense. right? I'm doing all this. I'm putting all this in my head and I'm going like this, wishing I can levitate. And then I never levitate. And I wonder why. Why am I not levitating? Why am I not doing this? Why? And I start living in conflict. Why is my life not changing when I'm wishing and speaking to the trees and it's not changing? It's not because we're seeing things from a very limited point of view. We're hoping things change. We're in conflict with ourselves. We don't understand. So if we can see this clearly, like, holy shit, like I don't have to wait for the new year or in my birthday. Watch, you're going to see my birthday, I'm going to start taking action on my birthday, because on my birthday, that's when I'm going to start doing it. But your birthday is today. That means if who you are right now, this very moment, this person right now, this human being is making decisions and is building an entire life around the foundation of their mind right now. That means nothing's going to change on your birthday. Nothing's going to change on the New Year's, a new me. Nothing's going to change until there's a total transformation at this moment in time. At this second in time, this moment, this right now, yo, look, boom, dive into it now. This moment in time, diving into it and saying, you know what? Now I'm going to do it. And then instantly everything changes. Instantly. Meaning this change that happens in your mind, and with that decision, that creates the result. I decided. There is no procrastination. There is no form of discipline. There's no motivation needed. I decided. It's a decision. No other option. It's deaf to all other options. Decision. Because I see the world like this, and in this way, how I do anything is how I do everything. And because of that, I respect time, because I know I'm in the process of dying. Because of that, I live in the moment, because this is all we have. There is no tomorrow. There is no next week. There is none of that, right? Do we need it? Yes. Is it known for structure? Yes. In actuality, right now is all that we have. So if we can understand that, then you start living in actuality. We can see that in actuality. Take that mindset within the illusion world, right? Which is the structure that everybody's living within, the limitations everybody lives in, right? All of this stuff, and we can see that, I'm living within these limitations. Everybody's waiting for Monday. You're like, fuck that. This shit don't exist. Let's go. Every moment's Monday. Everybody's waiting for Friday to live a good life. I'm living life now. Like now, right? You start taking this mentality, throwing it into this world, and start saying, yo, you know what? While everybody's saying, oh, I'm only want to make this much amount of money, I'm only going to do this, I'm only going to do that. You're like, yo, none of this shit is real. I can come into this game, learn it better than everybody else, and fucking win. Because that's all it is. It doesn't really matter. Right? Like it doesn't. Like I don't have to work that job. I'm just choosing to work that job because of how I see the world. I don't have to live this way. I don't have to be in this environment. I don't have to stay in this relationship. Because all these labels and these structures and all these things, like it's all this. And if we could see it like this, what's going to stop you? There's nothing that can stop me. There's nothing that can stop me, because I don't see the world like that. I don't see it like that. I'm like, fuck, I'm closer to my death every single day. I got to make move. I got to move. Like I got to move. I got to breathe. I got to stretch. I got to work out. I got to be energized, because I gotta go. I just gotta go. There's nothing that can stop me, because all it is just projections in my mind of what I think is real. What I think is like my fears are created is because I see things in fragments. I don't think that how I do anything is how I do everything. So many people don't think, because they live like this. On Mondays, I feel like shit. But on Tuesdays, I feel great. But then on Wednesdays, I feel like this. And then on Thursdays, I feel absolutely just amazing. Fridays, woo! Best day of my life. But then when Monday comes around, it's like, yo, you're living in like some other shit right now. That this structure that you're living in, you don't think that you put yourself in this situation. You don't think, look, you don't think that you put yourself in this situation. You don't think that you are the problem and you are the solution. You don't think that how you do anything is how you do everything. So you don't think that. So because of that, you're living within these limitations that you created within yourself, and then you just accept it. See, for me, I'm not better than anybody else, We're all equal as human beings. The mind is so powerful. The mind is so powerful that we created all these illusions on how we should feel, how we should be, accepted all these fears. We live in it, we accept it, and we just live and exist. And that is all. And then we think that in one area is better than this area, and we see things in fragments instead of seeing things as a whole, like we talked about here, seeing things as a whole. Then you start seeing, wow, tomorrow is today, right? And I'm living the results from what happened yesterday till now. That means if tomorrow is today, nothing's going to change if I don't change nothing right now. It doesn't make sense. I'll do it tomorrow. It does not make sense. It does not make sense at all. The sense of renewal that you get on Mondays, the sense of renewal you get on birthdays and weekends, and the sense of renewal that you get with the new month and the new year can happen now, because that's us. This makes mad sense. Give me some fire emojis on here, yo. Can I get like some fire emojis up in this shit, yo? This is some shit. This is some shit. This is some shit. That's that here's Widow speaking. Most people, yo, come on, let's try to play me, man. I love it, yo, I love it. So mind opening, yes. Okay, if we're not building up, we're breaking down. Just keep going, keep growing. Yes, we can do anything we want and at any time, and there are consequences for it. And all there is are consequences. Right, there's no right or wrong move. There's only consequences, man. Like, yo, man, I don't want you guys to listen to me, or I don't want you to say I'm being right or I'm wrong, and then whatever. Like, look, if it makes sense, run with it, do it. I don't argue with people. People want to argue with me. No, you don't understand, because the Crystal Rock says that you got to follow these instructions. And I'm like, all right, follow the Crystal Rock. And there's no, I don't want to, all right, cool. Like, enjoy the Crystal Rock. It's fine. If we can see that it's all in here, and life will become what you settle for. Life will become what you allow it to be. You are the problem. You are the solution. All these quotes I say, all these things I'm saying, it's like, oh, people don't get, because they think life is in fragments. They don't see it as movement. They don't see the important time, which is that we're in the process of dying. We don't see that any moment we can create that sense of renewal. We don't see that. Right now, you can look at your life and say, you know what? New moment, new me. That was the quote. What was the quote? That was the quote we did, right? New moment, new me. You know what I'm saying? Like, new moment, new me. All right, fam, I'm out. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for being on. See, that Crystal Rock line got me a lot of unfollows. Look, I get it, man. I get it. I mean, now unfollows, a lot of people get now. Listen, yo, I love you guys like crazy. I love you guys. And I appreciate you guys. And I will be posting this up on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check it out. I'm going to do it one more time here on my... Boom. Subscribe to that, fam. Subscribe to that. Yo, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great Monday. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care, y'all. Peace.